Matt here from the Gear Shed again. Just doing a quick review of this Foursevens Atom AL little pocket LED torch. Quite a good little EDC light. Basically it's running a Cree XP G2 LED in it. It is a mule, so if you look closely there's no reflector or anything here. That green patch you see around the back of it, it's just a glow in the dark material. So once you've had the torch going for a while, just about make out, it's not really going to do it. It'll glow so it's easier to find. So no reflector whatsoever, it's just got an acrylic lens on it, so it's not a glass lens or anything like that. So not the toughest end, but it is countersunk, so it's not raised up against over the top, so it's pretty protected there. It's got it's a twisty, so the switch wise it's just by turning the top here. It's got two modes: low, turn it on, so twist and twist and twist. It's quite of a twist. That's 4 lumens, and that's supposed to have a run. Sorry, not 4 lumens. It's 6 lumens. It's supposed to be a runtime of about 40 hours on a fresh battery. And twist it again, you get 110 lumens, and that's supposed to be 3.5 hours. Now, I think when I threw this on the scales, it was about 46 grams with a battery in it. Turn that down. With a battery, and these can run on 2 different types. You can either run it on a CR123 camera battery, disposable one, like these. We've seen those down, lithiums, or you can also use it. Those are 3 volts, or you can also use it on use it with lithium ion rechargeable. These are 16340s, which is the equivalent size, but the voltage on this is 3.7 volts. So you got that dual voltage wire on it, which is a little bit, if you're going to be using a lot, it's a bit more economical to run on the lithium ion rechargeables, and I think it makes it a little bit brighter as well, and there's a little bit of a noticeable difference in brightness. This also has a magnet on the bottom, which does make it a little bit difficult to get your battery out, so it just flicks in there like that. So you either got to pitch it out with your fingers, or if you're really lucky, you can give it a shake, and it'll come out the bottom. Right, so one of the things to say about this is it's made out of stainless steel, so it's a little bit different than a alloy torch. One of the things I think that does happen with it, the stainless steel doesn't dissipate the heat quite as well as the aluminium, so you do find if you leave it on high for a long time, it will start getting warm. It's not painfully hot or anything like that, it just gets noticeably warm. Like if you happen to turn it on and throw it in your pocket, you'd feel the heat through your jeans or whatever. Very, very simple. It's a 2-stage switch. So if you look down in the bottom, get the on sun, there's basically a little rubber. You can see a little foam piece around the contact at the bottom, and that just kind of regulates the amount of pressure you need to turn it from one setting to the other. So it squashes that washer down, and then it changes the setting. You do have to be careful which type of 16340 we use. Between these two here, I've got a AEW's 16340, and the other one here is a Nightcore. The Nightcore is considerably larger thickness and height wise, and I don't know whether it's because of the size of the contact, positive contact. What you find with this is when you put it in here, you only get one setting, so you turn it on, you only get high. For some reason it won't allow the lower setting to be engaged, so that's one thing. So I've got quite a few different styles and models of these, so you can kind of see there the little differences in sizes. So yeah, you might have to mess around and dick around a little bit getting one that actually works perfectly in here and be able to get the two. So this one here does, the AW works, but the Nightcore doesn't. So the two settings I said, so there's a low and a high. There we go, it's 110. So you get very little throw out of it. It's not something you want to be able to walk or route find or something like that. With it, it's very much localized. Light up a vehicle, inside of a vehicle, perfect for working on your car. With the magnetic base, you can click it to the bottom of the hood of your car, bottom of your car, and that'll basically flood the entire engine bay with light. No problems there. Definitely good for in a house. So in a room, like a standard sized room, you on high easily flood it with enough light to see what you're doing, walking around and the like. But certainly not something if you wanted it to throw very far. I tend to find that I use this quite a bit inside. Also, I use it in my tent. If if you get like a 10p piece or piece of round metal or something, you can put that on the outside of your inner, and then click it up there, and it actually holds it up to the tent, and it just floods the tent with light. Works really well for that. Settings wise, the 4 lumens is still quite bright. You find it's definitely not a moonlight, so it won't protect your night sight. You turn it on and it will definitely destroy your night sight. 110 is surprisingly bright. It does flood quite a bit of area, but you wouldn't be able to, as I said, probably wouldn't be able to run very well with it, because it's just so wide. It's just, having no reflector at all. It's as wide as it goes. It's just spilling light out everywhere. What I'm going to try and do is going to shut the curtains here and actually try and give you a little bit of an idea of how big the spot is. It's going to be a bit hard because the camera on the phone is going to try and adjust to it, but at least give you an idea of what the size of the spot is. So across the old landing here, across the top of the stairs, that's probably about it's about 2.5 meters away, 3 meters away. So we go to low. You can kind of, if I turn it sideways, you can just about make out. Go this way a bit, make out. Let's put it on high, it might be better. There we go. You can see, moving it side to side, how. Let's go freehand. Get an idea. Let's come up here. Right. Can see that is covering a huge area. It's just completely flooding everything on the floor. My dirty stairs. Right, so you can see the edges of the spot. So if you're holding on to it from sort of hip height, it's definitely pretty much illuminating your entire field of vision. So no spots at all. It's run times and everything is quite handy as well. I mean, since I've had it nearly 2 years. I've used it a fair amount. It seems to be between this and maybe my Olight S10. I kind of alternate between the two of them. If you watch my other videos, my Phoenix E15, I keep them on my keyring. But between those two, this and also the little tiny X1, the Mech Army one, I kind of like alternate between the two of these. Very similar because they're twisties. They've got the double twin outputs. But this I do tend to use this quite a bit. It just seems to be brilliant to get that punch light out, and especially if you're in a room or any darkened room, you should drop something on the floor or try to look under the couch. It does spill a huge amount of light out. Did I say about 46 grams? So it's not the lightest. The stainless steel does tend to look a bit weathered after a while, same as you'd have with aluminium. Does scratch a bit. And then overall, like quality wise, it seems pretty good. The stainless steel threads do seem to be a little bit. I had to put quite a bit of lube on them. They feel quite rough initially. That they have kind of smoothened up a little bit. There's no rattle or anything battery wise, no rattle at all. So apart from those little bits to look out for, which is the getting these 16340 batteries to work, there's not much else to say about it. It's pretty simple. I think a lot of people would scoff with the flood, but I think in an urban environment, if you're in buildings a lot, working in electrical gear, having the little magnet in the end is quite handy because it sticks to anything metal. So a lot of times I find myself whacking it to cabinets, or I remember I went to a hotel room once and the light went out in the bathroom, and because they're pitch black and no windows, stuck that to the shower pole. Perfect. Worked really, really well. Not much else to say. You can get a headlamp kit for this, but I find because it's so small, I've got this little Kevlar lanyard on it. My 2-3-year-old yelling down the stairs. Having this on here to not lose it, you can't really use it with a kit because the kit's designed that this goes in, basically fits into a little plastic holder, and the hexagon bit at the bottom here holds the torch in place while you twist it. So I haven't thought about getting the headlamp, but I've got plenty of headlamps, so I probably never actually use it. I'm more likely to put this in my pocket. Alright, so that give you a quick idea. Sorry I can't give you a bit of beam shop. It's really difficult to get one that actually does it justice, and especially with the phone camera, it tends to decide that it's going to adjust the light anyway, so it doesn't give you an accurate rendition. Alrighty, I bought this one on eBay. Actually no, I got this as a present. It's about £30 I think you can pick them up in the UK for, which is so-so. It's not the cheapest of lights, but it is quite cool. It's nice and small, as you can see. So you don't know it's there. Alright guys, so any comments in, pop in the comments box. Yeah, remember to subscribe. Still got some more videos coming out. Waiting to see what Santa brings me. Alright, thank you and see you later.